This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're in Las Vegas. This is Fury Wilder 3 Aftermath. I'm joined by publicist Melissa Tamagotchi.
I knew you were going to say that. Why are you saying that for?
That's your name, Tamagotchi.
Okay,
I've always known you as Tamagotchi.
That's my new name. I'm Tamagotchi from now on.
Okay, give us the actual pronunciation.
Hell no.
You want to be Tamagotchi?
I want to be Tamagotchi from now on.
Okay.
Let's do this.
First of all, wow, what a week. What a sensational week, especially for Tyson Fury, Team Fury, UK boxing fans, just boxing in general. It's been a bit of a bizarre week, a good bizarre week. Lots happening. You've been everywhere, helping everyone. Absolutely. Try and sum up kind of the roller coaster in your own words of kind of the start and the end. Haven't got to go through everything in between, but just...
We don't have time for that.
Okay.
We definitely don't have time for that one. That'll be like a 3-hour special. First of all, I think that this has definitely been the most successful campaign we've had with Fury, which is weird because there's no UK fans here, right? You'd think that if there was UK fans, it'd be like explosive. But as much as we wanted them here, we still managed to achieve the buzz because Tyson is just amazing. You know, whatever you put in front of him, he'll do it. You know, he knows coming into fight week on Monday, we always do that special day at the Top Rank office with all the UK media. And then from that point onwards, he knows it's game on. And whatever you put in front of him, he just delivers.
From the outside perspective, we see Tyson Fury, and you know, I'm in a little bit in between because I kind of see both sides of it. But we see Tyson being Tyson during all fight week, sells the show. We saw how kind of less vocal Deontay Wilder was in this build-up, and it's fair to say that Tyson pretty much sold the whole week.
100%. I think we weren't concerned about it. Like we always request from, you know, Wilder's side, can we have Tyson Fury on Monday with UK media, and then we do Tuesday, and they unfortunately weren't able to facilitate us. Maybe he had other commitments, maybe his diary was full as well, because remember, he hasn't really done any interviews, so we respected that, but we weren't worried about that. We knew that this fight was just going to explode come Monday, going into all those media events. And obviously, Clark County out here obviously don't allow fans at the events. So even when we were turned up, remember, to the grand arrivals, we were like, where's the fans? You know, how are we going to make this look good? And has that massive T-Mobile arena in the background, and Tyson just be like, right, mate. You know, it just always works.
Just to kind of, I'm going to try and sum up your position. And I know your position. It's just, I'm going to try and use a professional term.
We've been professional.
This is IFL is never professional.
Professional now, okay.
So, your job, as far as I know, and we've known each other for years, but your job, obviously under Top Rank, is to deal with the UK media in relation to Tyson Fury. Is that a simplistic way of explaining?
I mean, I think this is what everyone sees me around, right? When it comes to top rank fighters, they're always like, oh, she's always with the top rank fighters, or Melt PR, whatever, you know, however they refer to me. Quite simply, I obviously just recently signed an exclusive deal with Top Rank to be their UK media relations rep, and that was basically spurred from their deal with Sky Sports. They needed someone on the ground over there, and it just made sense for me to get into that role. But with Tyson Fury, being that he's with Frank Warren and obviously the BT Sport deal, which, you know, most of the fans are confused about this, right? AJ's still with Sky, but, you know, DAZN, Eddie and Bob with, you know, it's very confusing, and we appreciate that we're working on it. But with Tyson, I'm specifically brought over to deal with the UK media, deal with Tyson's schedule alongside, you know, Evan Korn and Gardi Lopez at the Top Rank PR office, and we work together to do all his PR for him and run the fight week schedule for the UK media.
That was,
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Anyone?
Absolutely makes sense.
Or should I just say I basically get shit done, okay? That's it.
There we go. Now, here's an observation from a media perspective. Obviously, this is not the first. Are you okay?
It's very windy, yes. I'm crying because we're leaving Vegas. It's so windy out here.
And your hair's all over the place.
I know. Woo!
Observation from a media perspective, kind of, it seems to be, obviously, it's not the first Tyson Fury fight week that you've been involved with, obviously. But this week, it seems though, with Tyson locking himself away even from team members, you know, they were in separate houses because obviously the panic over COVID, etc., that they didn't want to take any chances. But you can kind of see, because you've been around and you had to be around all the specific media days, because I see the relationship that Tyson has with yourself. And it doesn't matter who you are. If Tyson doesn't like you, he doesn't like you. I think that's apparent, even if he has to work with certain people. But with yourself, I mean, there was a clip on that actually I filmed with Tyson saying to you, you know, he appreciates your hard work, and I know you wasn't actually aware that the camera was actually filming that, so that was a nice kind of organic moment.
Thank you. Yeah, because basically behind you was about 50 people like saying, Mel, can we have Tyson? So I was just like, and we needed to leave that way. But yeah, no, I'm very lucky. Obviously it takes time to build that relationship, but Tyson does appreciate, and obviously I don't put it out there at the end of the campaigns, but even the last one when he won against Wilder in February last year when we were here, he's like, you know, come in the change room, he's like, Mel, you're the best, thank you very much. He really appreciates everyone in his team. He thanks everybody. He really appreciates how hard we work, and also he understands the pressures we have to deliver for our bosses. You know, we have to deliver, we have to get the PR campaigns going, we have to deliver for the UK media, for yourselves. Like, look at the access and all the stuff that we were trying to do. It's like, it is insane. Like, people don't realise how crazy it is behind the scenes about getting Tyson in front of the camera, but he trusts us, he appreciates us, and I'm just so happy that we have this relationship.
Whoa,
okay.
We're having a hair situation.
No, I'm not having a hair KUGAN.
You definitely are. You definitely are.
I'm literally going to end it. I want to go home. We're supposed to be going home today. I would miss my family. I just want to go home, not fly off the side of this flipping building.
Sorry, I just want to point out I've bugged you for this interview all week, and you reluctantly.
Oh wow!
You did reluctantly do it. Correct. I did ask you from like day 2, I think. Yeah. Working with Tyson, obviously you've worked with a whole host of fighters from the UK and also in America as well. Obviously, quite your campaign for Regis Prograis when he fought Josh Taylor was very successful. I think he got him to everything but the opening of an envelope.
That's correct.
That's correct, but that's your job. But from a publicist point of view, and I know there's other people that obviously deal with certain aspects of Tyson's kind of fight week as well.
Absolutely.
But how easy is it, or not easy is it, to deal with someone kind of as unorthodox in the sense of kind of, not a boxing sense, but unorthodox, as Tyson Fury?
Actually, it's not as scary or worrying as everyone thinks. Like, I know he does things out there because he's quite outlandish, but with us and the team, we actually organise things from weeks away. You know, we make sure that Tim Alcock knows exactly where Tyson needs to be. Brendan knows what time the car's going to drop off. We have security, RN, we had like CIA. These guys were amazing, weren't they? We had literally CIA with us, 4 guys. I was like, yes. Because it's not just Tyson, there's like 20 people with him. You know, the brothers and the friends and everyone else. It's really easy because it's organised. They have that diary from like weeks ago. And every day we have a WhatsApp group. We know exactly where we're going to be. And when it comes to me presenting the media to him, I always brief him. But it doesn't really matter if I brief him or not. He's like, yeah, Mel, it's all right. Am I live? Yeah, all right. And then he do you remember the clip? And he was like, I said, Tyson, you're live, so please can you just kind of ease off the swearing? And then he just went into some swearing frenzy. He's like, is that all right? I'm going to say effing this, effing that. And I was like, no, please don't. But I know he's not going to do it. And even if he does, who cares? It's Tyson Fury. He can get away with it.
Again, I'm going to chuck my little thing in here because I think my little counter to your things kind of make people understand as well. From my perspective, obviously very close with Team Fury, have been for years, but a situation like Fight Week, I need someone like you, 100%, because there's situations in regards to like T-Mobile security, in regards to venue security that are not familiar with me. And it's, even though if Tyson's one of them people, if he sees someone he knows, whether it's Gareth or whoever, Michelle or Phelps, anyone who's like, yeah, come along, but it's not as straightforward as that. Like, you need, we had a few dramas on fight night.
Yeah, we really got barred from the T-Mobile Arena. Basically, what's happened is that I am now KUGAN CASSIUS PA. I organised his entire schedule for him. I got to Mel, I can't get past the barrier. And I had an escort pass, and like T-Mobile basically hadn't been briefed, even though they're fantastic. They hadn't been briefed, so we're trying to get through. And I'm like, no, it's all right, I'm his escort. For God's sake.
Sounded horrendous, that, by the way.
I'm his escort. I can go through, and they're like, no. I said, mate, then what does this mean then? It says escort. He's like, no, you're not allowed through. You have to go back. So yeah, there was a few like obstacles we had to face, but we got there in the end. It's teamwork.
Now, we want to keep this as a positive one, but we do want to chuck in a little spanner, okay? What would you say was the biggest kind of panic? There's always a panic at one moment, whether it's fight, night, something that you stressed about the most.
I can't remember any panic. Can you remember any panic?
I can't, but I'm saying from your perspective.
Do you know what? What was so scary? By Friday, I'll be honest now, I didn't want to say it out loud to you then. The week went so smoothly. That was like, oh, something's going to go wrong. Yeah, basically Tyson getting knocked down twice was where my sort of like heart sank. Not sank, stopped. But apart from that, nothing went wrong and everything literally went smoothly. And more importantly, like obviously the UK fans couldn't come and we were so devastated about that. But the UK media have constantly complimented how well and how much access they got. And that's why these trips to Vegas is so worth it. So make sure you come to the next one.
Absolutely. And I understand yesterday, kind of a little bit of downtime in your world, you were chasing aliens, which was quite random. I mean, what kind of weirdo does that?
Well, when you're friends with Michelle Joy Phelps, who everyone knows how much she loves UFOs, we had to go because it was her 40th birthday and we didn't get to do this. That's what we were going to do in July when the fight got cancelled, you know, the 15th time. So we drove out to Area 51. We hired a car. We drove down in the middle of nowhere, turned up, what was it called? Area 51 Cafe or something. And there was a brothel to one side, a strip club, alien strip club.
True story. Yes.
And it was freezing. So as much as we wanted to support her, we had to get back. You had interviews anyway. But yeah, we looked up, we saw some stars. Did we see any aliens? Not really.
I didn't.
We couldn't tick it off our bucket list. We went to Area 51.
We have, that is, but the drive actually, the drive back, because we were actually playing theme tunes from horror movies.
How would you remember? It's not like you were exactly sober.
No, I had a couple of hours at Wet Republica with Tyson and the boys.
He was gone.
All right. Shut up.
No, okay, you just
I had one lemonade.
Is that what you call it?
I had one lemonade.
I'm not going to expose you. All right, fair enough. But yeah, the journey there was fun. It took a couple of hours to get. We drove 2 hours to this spot, right? We were there for what, 45 minutes, and then we had to drive back. And we were like, what was the point of going?
The reason actually we drove back, actually, because you actually didn't have to, but the reason I had to come back because I had an interview scheduled with Eddie Hearn at 1 a.m.
See how I accommodate? Right. I accommodate everyone, even you, Eddie Hearn. I make sure that interview happened.
Right, got a flight to catch.
Yes,
so
we do. I can't wait to go home. We're all coming home. Yes, Team Fury's coming home. Woohoo!
Melissa, thank you very much for your time this week. Not just here, but obviously during the week. A very successful week for you guys and all us guys as well. And it was a great fight as well. So credit to Tyson and Deontay for delivering that. Final words, if you've got anything else left you'd like to say.
Just want to say thank you to everyone for supporting me, for being there for me, for all the UK media always, showing up, and most importantly, Tyson and Paris and all the team. Thank you for having my back and being so great, and thank you for, I don't know what else. Thank you. Listen, it was an amazing week. Really enjoyed it. Probably one of the best fights I've seen live, and it's definitely going to be a week that I will never forget.
Mel, thank you very much, and we'll see you at the next one.
Bye.